What's up everybody, Christian James here. Today's video, veteran starts backyard wrestling promotion, city shuts it down after 3 years for no reason. Let's go.
Days after KSAT aired a story about a pro wrestling venue on the south side, the city then shut it down.
Yeah, our story featured a wrestler who goes by the name Stud Stash. His real name is David Campos. He's an Army veteran who found wrestling to help overcome his PTSD.
And he runs this backyard wrestling venue called The Yard. He has for 3 years without any complaints to the city until now. Here's what happened after our story aired. On April 18th, we shared this KSAT Explains.
On average, we average about 250 to 300.
You have hundreds of people in this backyard.
Yes.
Campos, who's a Harlandale special education teacher, started wrestling in late 2018, 13 years after he served as a combat medic in Iraq.
I came back to total darkness.
What has wrestling given you to help you with that darkness, with that PTSD?
Wrestling's given me my life back. There's David Campos, the person, but then there's Stud Stash, the wrestler. I really think professional wrestling saved my life, and the community of the Southside saved my life.
So that's the video the news put out. Somebody at City Hall saw it and clearly decided this is a terrible idea. No drugs, no drinking, no suicide, nothing like that. But somehow, this is not a good idea. Let's find out the dumb reason why. Oh, thank you very much for your service.
Exactly 1 week after our story aired, this notice of violation from the city was taped to the front gate at the Yard on Macaulay Boulevard.
It was like a kick in the stomach. It really, it caused my PTSD to act up.
And it took you a while to get to this point where you were okay to talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm shaking now.
You guys have been doing this for 3 years before our story aired.
Yeah.
I know it's got to be loud in this backyard.
Yeah.
We've got hundreds of people here. Have you ever heard a complaint from neighbors or a concern about it?
No. The complaint is, they ran out of the pizza or they ran out of the burgers. That's the complaint.
So we went to City Hall to find out what happened.
We got calls from citizens in that area, concerns about the wrestling. Your piece hadn't even come up. So this was April 14th.
That lady is absolutely lying. You can tell by her expression. So nothing for 3 years happens, and then randomly, right before this airs, there's a complaint. Right before it airs. Let's see that fucking complaint.
So you're saying that you got a complaint into your office before our story?
Yes, I did.
What was the complaint specifically regarding?
The porta potties and the traffic.
Councilwoman Villagran told us the Precinct 1 Bexar County Constable's office received the initial complaint and sent it on to her office. Twice, the constable's office told me they had no knowledge of any complaint. Well, there's two different stories there.
But I can't have technically an urban entertainment area within a residential area.
Next.
There you have it. Bureaucratic red tape bullshit. It's just backyard wrestling. Literally backyard wrestling. That's what it's called. It's been known that way forever. There's a video game about it from way back in the day. It's not commercial. I'm sure he's making a little bit of money. But, okay, how do you zone something the right thing to do? How do you zone something? This is bullshit is what this is.
It was on to the Code Compliance Office. What we're trying to do is find out if there is a path forward for this to continue at that property. Is that possible?
Well, it is if he requests rezoning and he gets rezoning.
The city says Campos can apply to rezone the backyard of the home as commercial property, and he has to buy or lease the empty lot next door to continue using it.
Ever since I was little, it's always been open like this.
The city says this was once a street.
We used it for actually like handicap parking.
The application to purchase this from the city requires a $1,300 non-refundable fee, but that's not the sale price. Campos would then have to pay the fair market value of the lot, to be determined. The fee to apply for the rezoning is more than $1,600.
Neighbors can voice support or concern, but eventually City Council will decide if it's appropriate or not.
Campos, a.k.a. Stud Stash, and his team that runs the yard say they'll find a way.
I'm actually glad that this happened because it opened up our eyes to get smarter to where we can't be shut down next time.
So you see a path forward?
Absolutely. We're not going to go anywhere.
As a wrestling fan, it's great to see wrestling being... Look, wrestling's purely fun. That's all it's intended to be, okay? It's supposed to take your bad day away. It's supposed to take your cares away. You're supposed to be entertained. It's on every Monday, every Thursday or Friday, depending whatever. Since I was a small kid. It's just supposed to be fun, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it's supposed to be. But for this gentleman, it's a lifesaver. For this gentleman, it's a way to escape the trauma in his head by living out a fantasy in real life. And then, you know, no good deed goes unpunished. They do a story on it. And City Hall does what every City Hall everywhere does, right? Every council in the world. You don't fix real problems. You attack things like this. Because you vote or you run based off of competence, right? I'm going to do this. At no point did you say in any of your running speeches, in any of your mandates, in any of your I'm going to do this for the city-ness, then I'm going to take away the one thing that a war veteran needs for his PTSD that's not drug-related, it's not therapeutic in regular nature. It's fun. He's wrestling. It's acting. Ladies and gentlemen, it's acting with stunt work. He's not really Stud Stash. He's really a war veteran. Thank you very much for your service and sacrifice. This video is over. If there's a follow-up, I'll give you a follow-up. City of San Antonio, you suck. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.